want to get into some post-mortem questions because there's a lot of interesting stuff happening in the finale. Let's talk about Dean's confession. Hannah's reaction to his I love you is really interesting because it almost feels unreciprocated with her giving him that dreaded thank you reply, but then she kisses him. Is that her way of expressing that she feels the same way?
I think it's her. I think, the situation has always been complicated, and that moment continues to make it so. I think that, this is something that she's been avoidant towards. I think, she knows that Dean loves her. Her dad mentioned that, and it's now something that she's seeing in the air. And there's been a few times where she thought that he was going to profess this, and it wasn't in a time that she was available to hear it. And now it happens, and he's so vulnerable, and it's so beautiful what he shares. And the important thing, I think, was that it was thank you for sharing that now, because now that you've shared that, we get to move forward. It wasn't like a thank you, I'm going to dismiss you. It was I'm not ready to say that back. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, it was a genuine moment of sharing. I wasn't ready for any of this. Thank you for telling me this now and being so honest so that we can move forward and we can be in this moment together. And then that kiss really did come from a genuine place because she does love him and she does admire him and she does respect him. And they are now a family, no matter what that looks like in the future. It was very much a genuine moment of, I wasn't ready to handle this. Thank you for being vulnerable with me so that we can move forward. And I appreciate you, I think is where that leaves. But it definitely was meant to be ambiguous, as Allen shares, of this is now a moment that we've committed to something, but I don't think either of them know what that commitment is or what that looks like.
I couldn't have said any of that better myself. Seriously, I think that it was definitely meant to be ambiguous. That final shot is so beautifully done, where he looks at her adoringly, and she looks at him and she smiles, but then she looks back at the baby, and then he's expecting more. He's wanting more, and the fact that she doesn't return that look leaves him unsure a little bit. But he decides. You can just see it on Steve Morber's face. He decides to compartmentalize and file that away for now and just turn and enjoy the child.
I think Dean's gotten a lot more time to process those feelings. And Hannah is only now in this moment ready and available to start. So I feel like, it is that thing of she's in this moment of they're this family and he's had time. He's had at least episodes to figure out when he's going to share this with her. And this is not something that she's explored because she was not ready to. So I think that it's going to take a moment for Hannah to figure out what that looks like. And of course, they would need to do that together too. It's just not a singular person in a relationship.
Right. Does she even know that Dean and Jennifer broke up?
I don't believe so. Does she, Alan?
That is a good question. I believe that has been
discussed.
Vlada, you've asked a very good question.
I was like, I think he possibly could have mentioned it, but I think that there's been so much going on.
I don't think there's been time for him to tell her. And so I agree with what you said, which is I haven't thought about it in a long time, but obviously, I definitely think that there hasn't been time, but they're in the moment. He's confessing his love for you. I mean,
we're having a baby. Like our relationship is so deep that I feel like they are such a new relationship as well, that's probably not the first thing on her mind. It's right. More the connection that they have and that they have baby Mabel in front of them right now. Look at this creation they brought into the world. And that bubble of feelings is, it's not letting all the other circumstances come in. It's really, truly just that moment in time, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I couldn't have said better because it's just like they are in it. They are in this cocoon right now. Nothing else matters. Nothing else exists. So, I mean, he says, and again, he says, I love you, Hannah. Like, doesn't matter. Jennifer's out one way or another. If he's telling her about the breakup, it's implied in that statement. As a side note, we shot a whole storyline about Archer and Jennifer breaking up. But, one of the things we run into a lot that we probably don't talk about a lot is that, sometimes the episodes come out really long when we shoot them, and then we have to get it into 42 minutes. And so decisions have to be made by me, to what stays and what goes. And I thought that since that was something that Sean says or that Archer says to Sean in the beginning of the next episode, that, it was fine to